You know, the Royals are world champions. The Marshall FFA are world champions. You know, it's a good day to be from Marshall, Missouri. You know, adults, we're people who work in schools are in the business of teaching kids. But it's times like this when I think about how teachers and principals and superintendents can learn from you guys. You know, Marshall High School, Marshall FFA, you don't accept mediocrity. You don't accept good is good enough. You know that good is the enemy of great. And you don't stop until you get there. And for that, we are so proud of all of you. And we thank you for allowing us to learn from you. It is a great privilege. I bring congratulations and appreciation from the Marshall Board of Education. And I have two special communications to share with you. The first is from Dr. Shelley Abishon, Regional Supervisor of the Missouri Elementary and Secondary Department of Education. What a phenomenal compliment to Marshall. There were 62,000 at the convention, so winning at the national level is an amazing accomplishment. I won't be able to attend your celebration today, but please accept my congratulations and appreciation for the hard work it took to make this happen. And from Dr. Marjorie Van Dieven, Commissioner of the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. On behalf of the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, I send my congratulations to the Marshall FFA students, sponsors, and the community of Marshall. Thank you for being so awesome.
Well, I just want to congratulate you guys. It's an awesome thing. You know, we are a blessed town to have such a such a school, and some of the most awesome kids in the universe. Can you give yourself a hand clap? Come on. Thank you guys. You did a wonderful job, and I'm not going to belabor it, but thank you guys.
Now, Connie, I don't know if she knew she was going to speak, but here's your opportunity.
That's not a problem. I'm very rarely speechless. Just ask anybody. This is really a big deal. And I don't know if all of you in this intersection realize just how big of a deal this is. When I was in school, even though it was a long time ago, I still do remember it. FFA was farm kids. I was a farm kid, so I knew the FFA group, and it was much, much smaller than it is now. But what we've all learned through the years is with the leadership of the people behind me over here, like Mr. Price, Mr. Plattner, I knew them when they were much younger than you. And so, as a matter of fact, I went to school with Mr. Plattner's dad. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. But what we've learned now about FFA is what it teaches you as you go forward. It gives you responsibility, it teaches you leadership, it teaches you accountability, dependability, and then this is the end result. So on behalf of all of us at the City of Marshall, we're very proud of you, and we know that moving forward with young people like you and everybody else that's in this room, that we're in good hands. We'll be just fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Connie. I've had the opportunity to get to know Connie a little bit better over the last couple of years, and it's been fun. We've worked collaboratively on some projects, and I know certainly what she said there is heartfelt. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me say, first of all, congratulations to the FFA chapter here at Marshall High. That is quite an achievement, and certainly you have the right to be proud of yourselves. But there's still work to be done. You know, agriculture is the basis of society. Think about that for a minute. Before there were cities, there was agriculture. There had to be agriculture because in the city, people don't tend to feed themselves, right? Not enough area. Other things, cities are made for other things. Originally defense, and then they became centers of manufacturing, right? And if you're at factory all day, you don't tend to grow your own food, right? So agriculture in the modern sense that we know it has been the basis of allowing us to have all the things we see. Everything you see here is manufactured one way or another. And agriculture allows that to happen. And yet, so few people understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. And that's where FFA comes in. I was looking over the history. Mr. Larkin sent me some good chronology about FFA and all the good things that have happened over the years, how Missouri, how we were on the forefront, as Marshall has been on the forefront in establishing FFA, how it's expanded over the years to include minorities and females, and expanded in the 80s to include a national presence and beyond agriculture. And that's your role for the future, and this is for all of us, to learn and understand about agriculture and to spread the word of what agriculture really does, because there's very few of us left. Few of us actually live on the farm and farm. About 1% of the population actually do that anymore. There are a lot of people involved in agriculture in other areas. It's important, not only for our livelihoods, but for our very existence. And the world would be very different if we don't have agriculture as we know it. So that's, as I say, congratulations once again. You're charged for the future. Keep up the good work and spread the good news. Thank you all very much.
Mr. Richard Fordyce.
Thank you very much. It is truly an honor to be here. We got the notification from Mr. Plattner late last week, and I would have dropped anything to be here. This is a really big deal. In the past few days, there have been, I don't know if I can do this or not, I'm going to try. In the past, I didn't sleep very much last night, and I think you know why. In the past few days, there have been two extraordinary groups of young people that brought a prize back to Missouri. We know one of them. Well, we know them both, but the first one happened last night. Happened in New York City. We brought the World Series trophy back to Missouri. That was a really big deal. But if you are involved in agriculture, this extraordinary group of young people brought a prize back to Missouri, the #1 FFA chapter in the country. So I thought what I would do just for a few minutes, maybe a few seconds, is we will see what the Marshall FFA chapter has in common with the Royals. Okay, so when the Royals take the field, their primary color is blue. When the Marshall FFA chapter compete, their primary color is blue. It's blue. Okay. The Marshall FFA chapter competed against 7,757 other chapters. The Kansas City Royals competed against 30 other teams. So again, Marshall FFA chapter. You know, Representative Dorman is a great historian. He is a great educator, and when you're the last person to speak, there's not a lot left to say. But he was talking a little bit about agricultural literacy. Let me again use another baseball reference to talk to you about agricultural literacy. You know, you couldn't have baseball without agriculture. What are gloves made out of? what are baseballs made out of? The windings are wool. They're wool. We would not have a team named the Royals if it were not for a livestock show in Kansas City. It is named after the American Royal. The Kansas City Royals are named after a livestock show. Think about all the concessions. Those things couldn't happen if it weren't for agriculture and it weren't for farmers here in Missouri. It's a big deal. All right, I'm gonna depart from my Royals stuff here just for a minute. I was a member in FFA when I was in high school, and every day in my job as Director of Agriculture, I rely on something that I learned when I was in FFA. From leadership development, from agronomy, from animal science, farm management, how to run a meeting. All those things I learned while I was wearing the blue and gold. The FFA, and again, I'm a little biased, and I know we've got other clubs and organizations represented in the student body, but the leadership development, the ability for students in FFA to be prepared for careers, not only in agriculture, but just careers in general, what the FFA does, I think, is second to none. That program is put together very well. And the students that come out of organized FFA programs are a leg up every time. Agriculture is the #1 state in Missouri, is the #1 industry in the state of Missouri, and we have the #1 FFA chapter in the country. I just think that's awesome. I was going to say something else, but I forgot what it was. I'm so excited. But I want to recognize the advisors, and I want them to stand. The advisors, these banners, this is a dynasty, folks. This is a dynasty in FFA, and these are the advisors. These are the folks that put the time in, put the effort in. I want them to stand up. This is a huge deal. The advisors play a key role, and people that have gone through an FFA program, they will refer back to their advisors as someone who mentored them, someone who guided them, someone who put them in a position to be successful. And that's critically important. There's another group that I want to recognize. I think they're right over here, alumni. If you're an alumni of Marshall FFA, stand up. If you're an alumni. And you can be, I don't care how old you are, any age, if you're an alumni. And finally, any program, whether it's a state championship football team, or if it is the #1 FFA chapter in the country, has support from their parents. If you are a parent of a Marshall FFA student, would you please stand? You know, it truly does take the entire community to support something that's successful like this. And I'm just really, I'm honored to be here, to be a part of this. This is a fantastic thing. We've talked about the stats, we've talked about what they've been able to accomplish. You can read the banners. You know, they took the championship home this year. Congratulations.